If you knew your subconscious was secretly rewriting your destiny every day, would you dare to keep reading to reclaim the pen? On the journey to exploring the power of the mind and the universal energy field, it is time to enter the deepest layer, where all limitations are formed, and the only place that can truly set you free, the subconscious. 1. The connection between mind and reality through quantum physics. Everything you ever thought existed only in your mind may be interacting with the universe in ways that modern science is just beginning to reveal. Throughout history, humanity has always wondered whether thoughts and consciousness could influence the world around us. As science pushes the boundaries of what is known and unknown, quantum physics has opened a different kind of door, a world where conventional logic is bent, and where the mind may not just be a product of matter, but an active force shaping reality. In particular, the concept of quantum entanglement has become a fascinating starting point for a dialogue between science and consciousness, between the visible and the invisible. Quantum entanglement is a phenomenon in which two or more subatomic particles can become linked in such a way that the state of one particle instantly affects the state of the other, regardless of the distance between them. This has been verified through advanced physical experiments and challenges every old definition of space and time. But what happens if we extend this phenomenon beyond the realm of subatomic particles and apply it as a foundational principle of the reality we live in? Many thinkers and theoretical researchers propose that the human mind, with its capacity for awareness, emotion, and consciousness, could be part of a vast quantum entanglement network, where all minds are interconnected with each other and with the entire universe. In this view, reality is no longer a fixed picture outside of us, but a dynamic process, continuously created through the interaction between observation and conscious energy. This revives age-old philosophical questions. Does the world exist independently of the observer? Quantum physics offers a surprising answer, perhaps not. The famous double-slit experiment shows that observation can change the behavior of particles. A particle can behave like a wave or a particle, depending on whether it is observed. This suggests that consciousness, or at least the act of observation, can intervene in the very nature of reality. From this, a bold assumption arises: the mind is not just a passive observer of the universe, but part of the mechanism that constructs it. If every time you observe, you shape the world around you in some way, then your daily thoughts, emotions, and perceptions may be painting the very reality you live in. Imagine an invisible ocean of energy pervading all space. Within this ocean, everything exists as a potential, not fully formed, but ready to become a specific reality the moment observation takes place. This is the concept of quantum superposition, where a particle can exist in multiple states simultaneously until it is observed. The human mind, if seen as an instrument of observation, could be the deciding factor in collapsing these potentials into concrete reality. Quantum entanglement shows that if two particles can be connected at the quantum level, they will retain that connection forever, regardless of space or time. This is not only astonishing in physics but could also form the basis for theories about a profound connection between humans and the universe. If every thought or emotion emits an energy frequency, as suggested by researchers in bioenergetics, then those signals could resonate with elements of reality in ways we have yet to imagine. So, when you think about someone, could they feel it? When you focus on a desired outcome, is the universe rearranging itself to bring that outcome closer to you? In a world where everything is quantum entangled, these questions are no longer too far-fetched. While classical physics describes a mechanical world governed by strict cause and effect laws and separateness, quantum physics presents a more fluid picture. Reality as a living network of energy, where all elements can influence each other instantly. This opens up a new perspective on the role of consciousness in shaping life. If your mind can indeed interact with the fundamental structure of the universe, then managing your thoughts, emotions, and personal beliefs is no longer just a psychological matter, it becomes a tool for redesigning reality. From here, many philosophical and spiritual systems have found common ground with quantum physics. Ancient teachings from India, China, and Egypt have long spoken of a universal connection, where humans are inseparable parts of a greater whole. These systems spoke of prana, chi, or life energy, invisible forces believed to coordinate life. When quantum physics says that matter is not as solid as we once thought, but merely condensed energy, the wall between science and spirituality seems to blur. When you enter deep states of consciousness, such as meditation or dreams, you may access levels of awareness not limited by time and space. In these states, many people report feeling connected to something greater, as if their minds merged into an intelligent, all-knowing flow. Perhaps this is not just an illusion, but a temporary access to the quantum information field, where all possibilities exist. The human mind, with its ability to visualize, imagine, and feel, is not just a receiver of the world, it is a point of origin. Every thought you generate is like a stone thrown into the lake of energy, creating ripples that extend not only throughout your life, but potentially resonate with other parts of the universe. From this perspective, what you think, feel, and energetically maintain is not merely personal, it is a creative act on a cosmic scale. Some contemporary scientists and authors such as David Bohm, Amit Goswami, and Nazim Haramein have proposed that the universe should not be understood as a machine, but as a living, conscious entity, in which the human mind is a part of the quantum ecosystem. Bohm called this the implicate order, a deeper structure beneath all matter from which all phenomena emerge. In this order, there is no true separation, everything reflects and connects with everything else. Thus, the question is no longer whether the mind influences reality, but to what extent that influence goes. If you continuously think negatively, you may be activating energy fields that resonate with similarly negative phenomena. Conversely, if you maintain a field of positive, optimistic, and grateful awareness, you are inviting positive energy streams into your life. However, understanding this is not enough. What's more important is learning how to use it actively. If reality is formed by interacting energy fields, and if your mind is a frequency tuner in that network, then you can learn to use attention, belief, and emotion as tools to shape your life. This is not merely advice for positive thinking, but a reminder of your profound power as a participant in the universe. Every thought, every moment you choose love over fear, trust over doubt, is a step toward synchronizing with a better reality. Quantum physics is not only a science for nuclear researchers, but a new language for understanding the self. In the end, when you begin to view the mind as an inseparable part of the universe's structure, and reality as a living expression of conscious energy, you realize that changing the world doesn't always require technology or power, it can begin with changing the way you think, feel, and connect. You are a part of the universe's quantum entanglement. And as an element within that network, you hold infinite power to co-create with the whole. The only question left is, how will you use that power? 2. The principle of connection beyond time and space. You are not alone in this universe, you are immersed in an invisible web of connection that transcends all boundaries of time and space, where every thought, emotion, and action has an echo. Once we begin to understand that the mind is not merely a tool for perception but an active participant in shaping reality, we must delve deeper into a more profound question: what is the mind interacting with? How can a seemingly insignificant individual within this vast universe be connected to and influence the whole? The answer lies not in the realm of tangible matter but in a more subtle layer of reality, an energy field that permeates all space and time, where all life and matter are connected as one unified organism. The concept of a fundamental energy field is not entirely new. Since ancient times, spiritual traditions have described the existence of a universal form of energy, known by many names in different cultures, but fundamentally the same, a life force, an invisible flow that encompasses and binds all things. Today, as quantum physics digs into the microscopic structure of the universe, we are discovering that even in the seemingly empty spaces within atoms, there exist constantly vibrating energy fields. These oscillations are not only present in every tiny point of space but also resonate with the entire structure of the cosmos. This energy field, according to some researchers, can be considered the fabric of reality, a domain where all information is stored and all possibilities coexist simultaneously. It is not a passive foundation upon which life clings, but an intelligent, dynamic, and responsive system. When we speak of connection beyond time and space, we are referring to the idea that all entities, from subatomic particles to human consciousness, are inseparable from this field. One of the most astonishing attributes of this energy field is its ability to transcend the limitations we consider immutable, time and space. In our conventional perception, two people separated by thousands of kilometers cannot influence each other instantaneously. But if they both share the same energy field, where distance has no real meaning, then such influence becomes entirely possible. Phenomena such as intuition, instant sensing when a loved one is in trouble, or the ability to glimpse the future in altered states of consciousness, all these may be manifestations of a connection through an energy field that exists beyond time and space. Imagine yourself as a tiny point in a vast network composed of countless knots of light, each glowing point representing a consciousness, a being. Wherever you are, when you vibrate, the entire network senses it. A small change within you sends ripples across the web, affecting other points in ways you cannot see with the naked eye but are real and profound. This is how the energy field works. No physical contact is needed, no transmission via conventional means, yet there is still a deep resonance among all beings. Modern science is beginning to approach the realization that information can be transmitted without traditional mediums. Quantum entanglement is a powerful example of this, a small doorway that shows us the true potential of a global connection, where everything reflects everything else like nested mirrors. If two particles can share a state despite being millions of kilometers apart, why can't two minds resonate even if they've never met? Going further, we begin to understand that time is merely a mask, a structure serving the linear experience of human beings. But for this energy field, past, present, and future can coexist in a super-reality. This explains why, in certain transcendental experiences, people can access memories they've never lived, knowledge they've never studied, or glimpse a future yet to come. The mind, once freed from the constraints of the body and linear time, can enter the depth of this energy field and access streams of information far beyond normal comprehension. Another critical point is this: the energy field is not a static mass, but a dynamic system capable of transformation and restructuring based on the signals it receives. When you shift your emotional state, from anxiety to peace, from anger to love, you are not only changing your inner world but also influencing how the energy field reflects reality around you. This is the mechanism that many spiritual practices have applied for millennia: cleansing the mind, releasing negative emotions, and raising vibrational frequency not only heal the individual but also synchronize with higher currents of energy throughout the universe. When you understand that everything coexists within a shared field, you begin to change how you view relationships. Strangers are no longer entirely strangers, they may be other parts of you embodied at different points in the network. Every encounter, whether brief or profound, is an energetic contact point that may trigger a chain reaction within the system. Some people come and go, yet leave an indelible imprint on you, perhaps because they touched a deep layer of the shared field that both you and they inhabit. One of the most visible expressions of this energy field is resonance. Have you ever instantly liked someone without knowing why? Or suddenly felt uneasy near another person, even though they've done nothing wrong? That is the sign of personal energy fields either resonating or clashing. When you adjust your inner energy, through meditation, prayer, art, or simply positive thinking, you are also sending signals to the greater field, which responds by drawing to you situations, people, and opportunities that match the frequency you emit. In this quantum ecosystem, you are not isolated. What you do for yourself, such as healing, forgiving, loving, also affects the network. You can be the starting point for a wave of healing, because every positive action creates a vibration that can travel through this energy field to places you cannot see, and to people you've never met. Therefore, understanding and mastering the connection beyond time and space is not just a matter of knowledge, but an invitation to step into a higher state of conscious living. It asks you to see every interaction as meaningful, each choice as a touch upon the vibrating strings of the universe, and every present moment as an opportunity to rewrite the flow of reality. The miracle is, you don't need to do anything grand to participate in this flow. Sometimes, a deep breath, a compassionate gaze, a sincere word, is enough to shift a chain of negative energy and open a new stream of light within the connective field. Each person is a portal, and through awareness, you can become a conduit that transmits light, inspiration, and transformation to the rest of the system. To understand the principle of connection beyond space and time is to step into a reality where miracles are no longer irrational, but a natural result of the synchronization between consciousness and energy. You do not need to grasp every quantum law to live a connected life. You only need to remember that every action you take carries weight within this energy field. Every thought is recorded, every vibration echoes, and every choice helps restructure the network that reality is woven upon. Life is not a random sequence of separate events but a flowing current with rhythm and structure. The energy field that permeates everything is the background music, the field of information, the stage upon which your consciousness is not merely a spectator, but the artist composing its own symphony. You are connected. You are broadcasting. You are co-creating. And in that awareness, you find the power not only to understand the world but to transform it. 3. Practical application, adjusting personal energy and thought. You cannot control the outside world, but you can adjust your inner frequency so that the external world reflects what you choose to become. Once you understand that reality is not separate from personal consciousness and that the entire universe is interconnected in an invisible energy field, the next step is to find ways to apply this truth to everyday life. We are not just spectators in this quantum game. We are active participants who can change how we interact with the energy field to unlock new streams of reality. The secret lies in adjusting our personal energy and thoughts. Everyone emits a unique energy field, a kind of vibrational frequency formed by emotional states, beliefs, thoughts, and actions. This personal energy field is not an abstract or inaccessible concept. It's the emotional tone you carry daily, the presence you exude when you enter a room, the way you respond to challenges, and the underlying stream of thoughts guiding your choices and attitudes. This energy field determines how you interact with the greater energy field of the universe, shaping the flow of your life experiences. The first thing to understand is, the energy you emit always attracts what is aligned with it. If you are frequently anxious, angry, or doubtful, your personal energy field vibrates at a lower level, making you more likely to attract situations that reflect that insecurity. Conversely, when you maintain a state of gratitude, love, calmness, and clarity, you begin to resonate with higher energy frequencies, where positive possibilities, meaningful relationships, and growth opportunities become more accessible. Adjusting energy is not a temporary action, but a continuous practice. Just as the body requires regular care to stay healthy, the mind and energy field also need daily cleansing, balancing, and nurturing. One of the first steps is to recognize your current vibrational state. You can take a few minutes during the day to tune into yourself. Do you feel heavy or light today? What are you thinking about? Are there any recurring emotions? Turning inward and being honest in your observations is the first doorway to making changes. After recognition comes transformation. You can do this in many ways, from simple techniques like breath regulation and listening to healing frequency music, to deep meditation or practicing mindfulness in every moment. When you consciously shift the content of your thoughts, for example, from complaining to appreciating, from criticizing to understanding, you are resetting the signal you send out into the energy field. Over time, this not only changes your inner state but also brings about external transformation. A powerful application of energy adjustment is setting clear intentions. When you clearly define what you want, your energy field becomes more focused and less scattered by worry or doubt. An intention acts like a wave sent into the energy field, carrying your message about your goals and desires. However, it is crucial that intention is paired with corresponding positive emotion. If you say you want a happy relationship but are filled with fear of being hurt, your energy field emits a mixed signal, limiting the realization of your desire. Emotion is the key to aligning with the energy field. Every emotion you experience carries its own frequency. Love, gratitude, inspiration, and joy are high-frequency emotions that easily create resonance with positive energy levels. On the other hand, regret, shame, anger, or fear are low vibrations that often lead to blockages in the energy flow. The practice of emotional transformation does not mean denying or suppressing negative emotions, but rather recognizing, accepting, and consciously releasing them. A simple yet powerful tool to raise personal energy is gratitude. Each time you acknowledge something good, even something small, and genuinely feel grateful for it, you create a wave of positive energy that radiates outward. Gratitude changes the way you perceive reality, from lack to abundance, from dissatisfaction to appreciation. And when you live in the energy of gratitude, your field will attract even more to be grateful for. Besides emotion, thought acts as the navigation system of energy. What you frequently think about, whether consciously or unconsciously, will gradually become your reality. That's why changing your thinking patterns can lead to changes in life circumstances. You can begin by identifying limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, I always fail. And replacing them with expansive thoughts such as, I am growing, I am valuable, I welcome good opportunities. This is not just psychological encouragement, it is an act of restructuring your internal energy. Another practical application is creating an energetically aligned space. Your surroundings, from sounds, lights, and colors to orderliness, affect your personal energy field. Tidying and rearranging your living space with intention, creating an environment that supports your energy, is a concrete and effective step. You can use essential oils, healing music, warm lighting, or greenery to set up a space that reflects the frequency you want to live in. Additionally, actions carry energy. Everything you do daily, whether it's talking, eating, working, or moving, transmits a certain energy. Imagine every action as a touch point with the larger energy field. What are you contributing to it? When you do things with heart, presence, and love, those actions become part of a positive energy stream not just in your own life but also one that radiates to others. That's why people can feel love in a meal cooked with care, or inspiration in someone speaking with deep sincerity. When you maintain energy adjustment for a long enough period, you'll begin to notice clear shifts. Negative people naturally drift away, new opportunities gradually appear, your intuition becomes sharper, and you can more easily feel the flow of life. No longer needing to struggle to control everything, you begin to live in a state of natural attraction, where things come to you not because you chase them, but because you've become aligned with them. There are people who always seem lucky, who are in the right place at the right time, meet the right people, and succeed without seemingly trying too hard. What they are really doing is consistently adjusting their personal energy. They have positive beliefs, clear emotions, intentional actions, and know how to maintain balance. In this case, luck is not random, it is the result of energetic alignment. Importantly, no one is born perfect in this ability. Everyone has the right to start from where they are. No matter what situation you are in, chaotic, lost, or discouraged, you can still adjust your energy. You don't need to wait for perfect conditions to begin. A single mindful breath, a new decision, a positive choice, that's enough to change your frequency. And from there, the flow of life will gradually shift. Ultimately, adjusting personal energy is not only a path to a better life but also a journey to discover your true essence. When you listen to and work with your inner energy, you'll realize that you are not just a physical body or a collection of memories and habits. You are an expression of the universal energy field, capable of creation, healing, and transformation. Not just for yourself but for the world around you. Life does not only reflect what you do, it reflects who you are. When you choose to become a source of positive, aligned, and clear energy, the entire universe resonates in harmony with you. And from there, you don't just live in reality, you begin to co-create it. 4. The role of the subconscious in creating reality. Every reality you are living is a reflection from a place you cannot see, your own subconscious. In the journey of exploring the connection between the mind and reality, the energetic field that links the universe, and the ability to adjust personal energy to attract positive experiences, there is a subtle yet overwhelmingly powerful factor we cannot overlook: the subconscious. If the conscious mind is the driver you see every day, then the subconscious is the map, the road, the engine, the elements you rarely notice but which determine the entire direction and speed of the journey. The subconscious is the deepest, most powerful, and most persistent part of the mind. It stores all your memories, experiences, emotions, habits, and beliefs, even those you no longer remember clearly. In every moment, the subconscious operates like an automatic system, silent yet efficient, coordinating your emotions, behaviors, and responses to the world. While the conscious mind accounts for only a very small portion, about 5%, of information processing, the subconscious accounts for up to 95%, virtually governing your entire life behind the scenes. What's noteworthy is that the subconscious does not distinguish between right and wrong, nor does it analyze or judge. It simply accepts frequently repeated information as truth and continues to create reality based on that truth. If you grow up in an environment where life is constantly described as hard, where money is seen as difficult to earn, where you're told you're not good enough, then those messages, even if uttered in passing, are deeply imprinted in your subconscious as a pattern. Even if you try to change things externally later in life, if limiting beliefs are still stored inside, you'll find yourself pulled back to the same old state. This explains why many people feel like they put in effort but their lives remain unchanged. They read self-help books, set clear goals, attend personal development courses, but the same patterns persist: failure, anxiety, broken relationships, lack. It's not because they're not good enough, it's because their subconscious hasn't been updated. They're using the power of will to battle against a deeply embedded program, where everything has already been decided. The subconscious is like fertile soil. What you plant, through words, images, emotions, and experiences, will grow and manifest in your life. If you sow seeds of fear, shame, or limitation, even if you try to water them with hope or action, the tree will still grow twisted and off course. On the other hand, if you know how to cleanse that soil and plant new seeds, of love, confidence, creativity, and openness, the subconscious will begin to restructure your entire external reality. The question is, how do we access and change the subconscious? The subconscious does not respond to logic, but to images, emotions, and repetition. This means that to create deep transformation, you don't talk to the subconscious through reason, but access it through emotional and imaginative experience. One of the most effective methods is emotional visualization, imagining a scenario you desire, accompanied by emotions as if it were truly happening. When you maintain this state long enough, clearly enough, and repeat it often enough, the subconscious begins to accept it as part of reality. Another method is changing your inner dialogue. Every day, you say thousands of things to yourself, in your mind, and most of them are limiting or negative. I can't do it, I'm not ready, I will fail. These phrases act like repeated commands to the subconscious. To change reality, you must start changing from within. Begin with strong, positive affirmations: I deserve a good life, I welcome all opportunities, I am safe in growth. It may sound simple, but if repeated consistently and persistently, it can reprogram your entire subconscious operating system. A deeper approach is meditation, especially meditative states that reach the alpha or theta brainwave levels, where brain activity slows down and the gateway to the subconscious opens. In this state, you can introduce new images, new ideas, and new emotions into the subconscious. And because the mind is no longer strongly resisting, everything flows in more easily. This is why many psychologists, healers, and spiritual researchers recommend daily meditation as a way to restructure the core energy of the subconscious. However, no discussion of the subconscious would be complete without mentioning suppressed emotions. Many past experiences, especially from childhood, leave behind unresolved feelings: fear, shame, anger, sadness, all quietly buried in the subconscious. Even if you don't clearly remember what happened, those emotions still silently affect how you choose, behave, and view the world. This is why healing the subconscious, through therapy, journaling, mindfulness meditation, or emotional healing methods, is a crucial step if you want to truly change your reality at its root. Additionally, the subconscious is influenced by your environment and the people around you. You may be living in a space filled with negative messages, or interacting with people who regularly plant seeds of doubt, judgment, and anxiety in you. These are all factors that lead the subconscious to adopt false beliefs. Therefore, choosing your living environment, the content you consume, and the people you allow to influence you is extremely important. Create a nourishing space, from the books you read, the music you listen to the people you connect with, so that your subconscious is consistently exposed to positive, expansive, and inspiring frequencies. An interesting point is that the subconscious is most active when you are not paying attention, such as when you're dreaming, relaxing, doing repetitive tasks, or right before sleep. These are moments when you can plant positive images into the subconscious. Before bed, instead of watching negative news or scrolling through social media, close your eyes, breathe slowly, and visualize the version of yourself you wish to become. Feel the joy, confidence, and happiness of that state. This is not idle daydreaming, it is a subtle action to realign the direction of your subconscious. When the subconscious is reprogrammed in a positive direction, you will notice clear changes in your life. You react differently to familiar situations, you develop new confidence, your choices become more deliberate and empowered. You are no longer stuck in repetitive loops, but begin to create a new stream of reality, where you are the leader, not the follower. Ultimately, the subconscious is not something to control, but something to understand, love, and collaborate with. It is your most loyal companion, holding all your pain and effort, even those you no longer remember. When you express gratitude to your subconscious and care for it as you would a child needing healing, you will unlock a miraculous power of transformation from within. And at that point, you won't need to force yourself to change reality with willpower, because reality will naturally shift according to the new energy and structure of your subconscious. You don't need to search for strength elsewhere. It has always been within you, in the deepest, quietest, and most powerful place, the subconscious. When you connect with it, you don't just create a new life, you awaken an entirely new version of yourself. The vast universe doesn't exist only out there, it also resides within the depths of your subconscious. Every belief, every silent emotion is weaving the tapestry of the reality you are living. And if you're brave enough to look inward instead of chasing the outside world, you will discover the key to unlock the door to an entirely new life. What are your thoughts on the role of the subconscious in shaping destiny? Feel free to share your insights, questions, or personal experiences in the comments below so we can explore this mysterious world together on a deeper level. If you find value in this awakening journey, don't forget to subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any videos. Each week, we'll continue diving deeper into the invisible yet powerful layers of reality. See you in the next videos, where truth is not found on the surface, but in the place where the mind connects with the universe.